One more chance to make the Cup Series playoffs at Daytona International Speedway, Saturday night regular season finale. So right now, Bubba Wallace is in the provisional playoff spot by 32 points, but by my count, there are more than a dozen drivers below the cut line, which currently Ty Gibbs right now 32 points behind Bubba in that 17th position. But in addition to Ty Gibbs, there are 11 other drivers at least down there, Stevie, who have a chance to win and claim that final spot. So how do we think this is going to shake out? Does Bubba get that last spot on points? Do we see a new winner? What do you think we'll see Saturday at Daytona?
Well, option A is Bubba in on points. Option B is a new winner. I don't think there's any way Ty's going to overcome him in points by 32 seems reasonable. Only 4 times this season has Ty Gibbs scored more than 32 points in a race. So it would involve Bubba having a very bad day and Ty having a great day, which is possible, but I see that as unlikely. In my mind, a new winner is the biggest opportunity, but I feel we're going to leave Daytona with Bubba Wallace in the playoffs. I'm not completely shocked if it wasn't Bubba Wallace in the playoffs and victory lane. I know a Toyota has never won a speedway race in the next-gen era, Parker. But, Parker, when I look at what Bubba did at Talladega, he was in the mix, right? He had a chance. It's probably a move he would like to take back or do different down there in 1 and 2. But if I'm the 23 team, I'm going to Daytona thinking go as fast as I can and try to win the race. Quit worrying about counting points.
Man, is it raining? I'm looking for my parka.
Man, listen, you got to work with me a little bit. It's been a long weekend. I mean, some of us work both days. Some of us don't just drive. And we got TV on Saturday and Sunday.
I'll be there with you this weekend, so I look forward to that. But I can't disagree with you, because when I look at this lineup and I think about where Bubba Wallace is, he is one of those few cars that has a choice, right? He could potentially think about being more on the defense, right, in this race compared to other cars like AJ Allmendinger or Justin Haley, who are just going to go out there and try and win a race at a super speedway, maybe an Alex Bowman in a similar situation. But I think knowing him, and when you look at where he has made him successful at super speedways, that's not going to be the plan they're going to use, right? The best defense is great offense, and offense at a super speedway is getting to the front. It is controlling the race, and it is keeping that car up front at all costs. And you have to be very aggressive to do that, which he has done in the past. But that is the strategy for myself going to the Xfinity Series race, on the cut line. I view it as get to the front, stay at the front, and be at the front at the end. And that is the best place you can possibly be. And I think that's got to be the thought process and the mentality of that 23 team. And really just allow, if you go up there and you race at the front and you score big stage points or win the stages and you're in position late in that race to win, and for whatever reason something happens and you don't make it in the playoffs, you can leave Daytona, your head held high, saying we did everything we could. We didn't leave anything on the table. We didn't lay back. We didn't just hand it to someone. We went up there and fought for it. And I really think that's how he has to approach this race. And I think it's how he will approach this race, because he's good at this style of racing. He has the confidence. And he most likely will have the fast enough car to be up front and to keep it up front.
So interesting insight there, Parker, from Stevie as well, about how points essentially maybe aren't the play here at all for Bubba, but it sounds like what you're saying is he should almost approach both stages in the race as if he wants to get max points. I know it's like whenever we have these points discussions, I feel like it almost gets reductive to the point of like, it's just so simplistic. Just try to win the race and try to be up front at all times. It's just like, even though points don't necessarily matter, try to get max points and win the race. Is that sort of what you're saying?
Well, so there is a moment. So let's be clear. I think what we're both saying is, to go to Daytona and to try to win the race is both of our opinions that's also max points. Now, there is a small caveat. If we get to 1 or 2 to go and everyone around Bubba is a winner, is somebody who's already in the playoffs, there would be a conversation I would have before the race to say, listen, I'm not going to worry about it, but if I tell you that we're in just finish, I just want you to lift. Get out of the pack and finish the race. Like, don't eliminate ourselves with something we don't have to do. That would be the other thing, because you'll know after stage 2 whether there's enough points available for Ty Gibbs, right? So if there isn't, and it's not a points race, you don't want to, you don't want to do something silly. But listen, people want to make these things like they're choreographed. These races aren't choreographed. They're very, very hard to win. And if you're thinking about something other than trying to win, then you're going to be distracted and miss the entire point.
That's a great point, because it's the smallest of things that make the biggest of differences at these super speedways. And with this next gen car, knowing the importance of track position, you cannot have a split second in which you are not fully on the aggressive, on the offensive, in terms of saying, I want to be in the best position possible at the front of this field, because the track position is so important that you just literally can't give an inch at these races.
Thank you for watching NASCAR America Motormouths, presented by Toyota.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.